No, I just want to make sure that Matt Johnson gives me a layup about Christian Roldan.
What do you think about Christian Roldan's performance today, Coach?
He was absolutely fantastic. I love that kid. I mean, I love the whole team, but he was great. The time he knocked over Kleshtin as he was chasing him back, and some of that stuff should be an eye opener to some people that are above my pay grade.
In all seriousness, did you see that from the beginning when he was a rookie? Has this developed, or what is his progression?
He's been already a kid with a big heart from day one, but his interactions with Gonzo, with Ozzie, with some of the senior players, he studies film. He studies his opponent, not just his own film, but studies his opponent prior to the game. So I thought that was one of his signature performances that we all kind of understand and get used to because we watch him all the time. But I thought for the rest of the country, I thought he was great.
Looked like Jordy was moving around a little bit gingerly there by the end. How's he feeling?
Another kid I love talking about, tough kid. Got nicked up in that play in the first half. At halftime, they were actually going to pull him, and he said, "No, I'm going out there." So we made the decision to keep him out there. Testament to, again, another kid that has a winning mentality.
What was the injury?
An ankle injury, dinged up his ankle. So we'll make sure we check it out, but tough kid.
Coach, the other day you said you hoped and expected the team could feed off the energy of the crowd in the moment. Did you sense that?
Yes, they're north of 45,000. Larry, I think it was a proper start to what I hope, what I know is going to be a great home season. I think our fans have outdone themselves in many ways over the years, but today's atmosphere was really, really cool. It was good. They were loud from the beginning, and they were loud at the end. And fortunately for us, we were able to give them a good soccer performance to reward them for their support.
Jackson.
Coach, do you have an update on O'Neal Fischel, and what do you see from him in the 57 minutes?
Yeah, he was good, but he's got a left hamstring injury. We'll assess that, and we'll make do, I guess. Soccer's a team sport, so we'll try and cover and make do.
As you saw the question.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach, the resiliency of your team in terms of who you started in the back line and then Red Bull scoring and then you coming back and scoring. So those two things about the makeshift back line and then the resiliency to come back and score 2 goals.
So the resiliency of the back line. So again, soccer's a team sport. Fish is a good player. Gustav's a good player. Obviously, Chad and Jovan do their thing. Jovan, by the way, was fantastic too, not just because he had 2 assists, but he was good. Marshall, again, another guy that got dinged up a little bit and was able to continue on. So going down, getting the tying goal, was, okay, good goal, right? If you want to say that maybe Gustav hit it at the last moment instead of Bradley Wright Phillips, I don't know. I have to see the replay. But anytime a ball comes across, 2 guys are going for it, and it hits both the crossbar and the upright and goes into the far corner, I mean, either that you're calling that a really great goal or, pretty lucky. So, they did their job. I'm not upset. I know we talked about giving up a couple of soft goals in our first 2 matches. That goal I'm not worried about. I think that was just a good play by Zizo and Bradley Wright Phillips. So coming back from that, okay, it's been a signature of this team for a long time. We've had some good second half performances last year. We've had good second half performances this year. And so I, can't tell you how or why. They just, that the spirit of the team is there.
Jackie.
Coach, with all the excitement of the championship celebration and unveiling the banner, does it make this win here at home even more special, given it's the first one of the season?
For sure. I mean, it was kind of a trap game in the sense that, are you going to get carried away by, thinking about last year, and then, the referee blows the whistle, and all of a sudden you got to switch gears, and you got to say, okay, we're 0-1-1. So in that sense, it was a trap game. I think some of the soccer we've played over the last couple of games, was good, some was bad, but tonight I thought it was an all-around good performance.
Already still got one?
Coach, when Harry Shipp first got here, he talked about how he felt this team was going to be a very good fit for him stylistically and from a chemistry perspective. Can you talk about, especially with his performance today, how you've seen that chemistry develop and how he's plugged in here?
Well, very good because, he does fit in a kind of Ladero, Dempsey, Ozzie, Christian, where it's a good possession-based team. So he fits right in there. And we love Harry because he's very humble and hardworking and all the attributes that I like in a player. And, I didn't notice it really until I watched the replay, but he actually kind of redirected that ball. And he doesn't want to take credit for the goal, but, he could take credit for the goal and stuff like that. So he's a great kid, and I'm happy to have him.
Jeff?
Brian, Jordan's been coming really, really close for the first two games, and all through the first half he came really close. How important do you think it is for him just to finish that one goal?
It was good. I mean, I was giving him some grief because his dad was talking about taking him off the field at halftime. And we said no. Maybe that's just the kid pushing back to the parent. And we left him out there, and I'm glad I did. Because for him to score a goal, I think did him a world of good. And he deserved one because, let's be honest, I mean, okay, he didn't score some of those earlier chances, but as long as he is creating those chances, that's good for the Seattle Sounders. I mean, that's going to be good for us because even if he doesn't make them, it puts more pressure on the opposing team, and eventually teams are going to break. So I'm very happy that he was able to score. And by the way, that was a pretty good goal. That was pretty entertaining.
What did you think of the play by Jovan Jones?
That was great. I mean, Jovan's play and, Nico's assist. I mean, that was good soccer. That left side was really doing well tonight.
Nico?
Could you talk a little bit about what you were intending when you took Fisher out, Flacco in, and did it have the result that you wanted that to have?
Yeah, the reason for that, look, Tony Alfaro is a great player, and I could have slipped him in there and pushed Gustav out to right back, but at home we want to play more attacking soccer. And so I felt that Christian could do the job, which he did defensively, by the way, but also give us some more attacking movements from a right back position. So Flacco was an experienced player, came in, did his job. The one time he tracked all the way back to catch that guy on a breakaway, I mean, he did exactly what he needed to do. And that was just, a decision we made on the bench just to make sure that we continued to press and push the tempo because we were at home.
Todd?
So Brian, regarding your guys' decision at halftime with Jordan, does he have full veto power over his father for the future regarding medical decision?
No, but I would say that Jordan and I together have a little more power than his dad. I'll answer it that way.
It seemed like your whole front four, the chemistry took a step forward today, especially in the second half. What have you seen from that group, and what do you think is the kind of ceiling for how explosive they could ultimately be?
Well, all right, we saw some of it last year, right, in the 4 games that Dempsey was here. And then you have a world-class player who, through circumstances we don't control, had to take time off. And any layoff for any player of, 6, 7, 8 months is going to be a difficult one for both the player and the team to come to grips with. So what I would say is today was a very good game, but it's still a work in progress. I'm not going to put any pressure or crown us, kings of this very competitive league yet. But I do think that some of the potential that is there certainly puts us with, all of the top teams in our league. So it's just a matter of making sure that we continue to work. I think what you saw out of Clint today was, a guy who's fully bought in for the Seattle Sounders. I mean, he was defending, he was working, he's fully bought in. He wants his team to succeed, and I thought that was great.
Grass?
Coach, Jovan has now 5 or 6 assists dating back to the start of the playoffs last season.
What makes him so effective down that left wing, and what kind of options does that give you attacking forward, knowing you have him playing from left back and really getting forward so much?
Well, so thanks for asking that, because 5 assists and 2 assists today, certainly that's impressive. But I like Jordan for a lot of different reasons, and we cannot forget about his 1v1 defending as well. So he's good in that sense, and we're working on his tactical awareness and all that. But what makes him a good attacking player is just that he's so technically clean, and he's got speed, which is a God-given gift. It's not, it's nothing you really develop. So he's got good technical ability, good speed, and that's something that in our system, where we want our guys to go forward from those positions, it's a good fit.
So, Coach, you just mentioned that the team has a really good second half. What does the team needs to have the same rhythm in the first half? Have a good first half.
Well, I thought we were better in this first half. I mean, I thought we created a lot of chances in the first half. Again, I mean, when I look at my team and we talk about it in the coaches' meetings, it's a senior group. And I'll tell you the story in Houston when we went down by 2 goals. You would think that the coach is going to come in and yell and scream and well, I didn't have to, because they did it amongst themselves, because they understood they underperformed to their potential. And so when Ozzy, as the captain, says something, people listen. When Nico says stuff, they listen. When Clint is upset because he's not sharp, they all have that within themselves. And I think tonight what you saw was a group of professionals that wanted to make sure we came out and put on a good performance. And that's what you see with this group of players.
Time for a few follow-ups. Anybody? Art?
With Clinton Jordan, national team duty coming up, obviously, what are the challenges that come with having guys play that double duty during the club season? What's your kind of philosophy on managing that?
Well, the double duty is certainly something that we have to deal with. That's just part of life in the MLS. Certainly we wish them well in their adventures. Jovan, Nico, Roman, the same. Certainly Panama, USA is going to be interesting. Should be, an interesting little storyline for you guys to cover. But we deal with it. I mean, we're making sure that the players, when they come back from trips, they get business class or first class. We make sure that that happens. And we also make sure that we don't put anybody at risk. Like if a guy plays 2 internationals in a row, and then we have to play Atlanta on 2 days rest, those are some of the decisions that we'll have to make based on, the outcome and the play of the players on international duty.
Grass.
Coach, Gustav playing center back tonight alongside Chad Marshall. Again, not really his natural position, and the goal that Bradley Wright Phillips scored notwithstanding, seemed to have a really good game back there. What did you make of his performance alongside Chad?
Well, he didn't look not like a center back. I thought he looked pretty good as a center back, actually. So I'll have to discuss that with him, what his best position is. But, again, like I said, the goal, he was all over Bradley Wright Phillips, and I think that's just testament to Bradley. I mean, he's a good player. And, again, the ball hitting the crossbar and the upright. But Gustav was very good. It was a good pairing with he and Marshall. I thought they were steady. And the most impressive thing for me on the defensive side with Gustav was, a couple of 1v1 duels where he was going up against faster players. He was actually able to win those duels. And then offensively, again, I thought he saw some passes, like long diagonals and stuff that really opened up the game for us. So I was happy with his performance.